Welcome, everyone. We are so excited to have you join us in the first installation of our virtual series. And today we're going to be featuring athletics at Hathaway Brown. I'm Catherine Chapman from the admission office, and I'm just going to turn it right over to Ashley Kelly, our athletic director, to kick off the conversation.
Perfect. Thank you, Catherine. Hello and welcome from HB Athletics. We're so excited to have this opportunity to present to you today about empowered athletics here at HB and the benefits of female athletic participation. So, here at HB, athletics isn't just about competition, it's about building confidence, character, and community. So, our goal of today's presentation is just to illustrate the importance of these in the life of a female athlete and how that plays out here at HB on a daily basis. So to begin, I'd like to start by introducing myself and my team of presenters today. Again, my name is Ashley Kelly, and I have the privilege of serving as the Director of Athletics here at HB. And today I am joined by Taylor Skersey, who is our strength and conditioning coach, and Kelly Korzanowski, our head athletic trainer. And both of these women play instrumental roles in what we're able to accomplish here at HB. So I'm excited for you to hear from both of them a little bit later. But before we get into the details of what HB has to offer, I thought it'd be best to just establish a foundation of why athletics can be a critical component of the holistic development of a adolescent female. Um, the Women in Sports Foundation created this really amazing graphic that presents a ton of great fast facts about the benefits of athletic participation. So I'm just going to highlight a few of those really quickly. 67% of women believe that they have carried their skills and lessons from sports into adulthood. Nearly half of women polled directly credit the skills acquired through sports for their leadership development. Girls who play sports are up to 15% more likely to earn higher grades and are more likely to graduate from high school and college. The Women in Sports Foundation reports that 71% of women who have held C-suite or executive leadership positions report having been former athletes. And there are several other organizations that present that percentage as actually much higher, up to 91%. So it's clear that the data behind female participation in sports unequivocally illustrates that the benefits of participation are significant in the life of a female student athlete. There are so many other benefits that stem from athletic participation, and many squarely land in the area of wellness and physical health. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to our amazing athletic trainer to further elaborate on that topic.
Hi, just like Ashley Kelly said, I am Kelly Korzanowski. I am the athletic trainer here at Hathaway Brown. And basically wellness in athletics is more than just the absence of an injury. It's the balance of physical, mental, and emotional health. And it's about helping athletes perform at their best and live their best balanced lives off the court or field or whatever sport that they choose. Every athlete's body develops at its own pace, and that's completely normal. Developing strength safely helps prevent injury and improves performance for the long run. Whether this is strong bones from weight-bearing activities or cardiovascular training to support endurance, this helps the body grow strong over time. Strong athletes don't just train hard, they train smart. Injury prevention and body awareness are the best tools for long-term success in sport. My role as the athletic trainer helps provide safety and support for our athletes here at HB. Certified athletic trainers are healthcare professionals who specialize in preventing, evaluating, and treating sports-related injuries. I love to say I'm not here just for when one gets hurt, but I'm here to make sure that you stay healthy and ready to perform at your best. Athletic trainers provide injury prevention programs, immediate and first aid care, evaluation and rehab of athletic injuries, education and wellness to support your athlete health. I like to say that athletic trainers are the first line of defense when it comes to sports, which means that I have effective communication. And effective communication is the heart of what athletic trainers do. We act as the central link in the circle of care, keeping athletes healthy, informed, and supported when making sure everybody involved has accurate and timely information. Um, Communication with coaches, communication with parents. I even have communications with physicians and medical providers to help make this comprehensive medical team to make sure that they are performing at their best. Something that's really cool here at HB is I have a really good partnership and relationship with our strength and conditioning coach. So both the athletic trainer and strength and conditioning coach, we want the same thing. We want to help athletes perform at their highest level while minimizing the risk of injury. I like to say that we're a complementary team to ensure that there's safety and there's performance being developed. Athletic trainers keep athletes safe, while strength and conditioning coaches help make her stronger. And so, with that, I will turn it over to Coach Scursy here with me. And yeah.
All right. Thank you, Kelly. So I'm Taylor Scursy. I am the strength and conditioning coach here at Hathaway Brown. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the connection of strength and confidence in female athletes. This was instilled at me at a very young age. I played collegiate soccer, so I know what it takes to get to that next level, but also know the importance in the strength and conditioning side of athletics to make these student athletes the best that they can be. So the goal for me here at Hathaway Brown as a strength and conditioning coach is to develop confident, resilient, and physically prepared student athletes by enhancing their athletic performance, reducing the risk of injury, and promoting lifelong health and wellness, all in alignment with Hathaway Brown's mission to nurture the mind, body, and spirit of each girl every day. So a few focus points that I'm going to talk about that relate to the connection of strength and confidence is the first one's going to be performance enhancement. So building that foundational strength, power, speed, endurance, and mobility for all athletes across every sport. So we have multiple different sports, and that's going to be later in the presentation here. And to teach proper lifting techniques and safe, efficient movement patterns. So really focusing on building that foundation, building the baseline, and continuing to progress each athlete in that way. The second focus point is injury prevention and durability. So integrating mobility, stability, recovery protocols to make sure that the athletes are strong enough to support the movements that they will be doing in the weight room with me, but also in their sports, and helping athletes understand their body mechanics and loading management safely. So just different programming with progressions, and then, taper weeks, depending on what part of the season that they're in. Confidence and empowerment. So using physical training as a tool to build self-efficiency and self-confidence in girls and encourage goal setting, mental focus, and instilling a growth mindset for female athletes. Fourth one is holistic development. So connecting physical training to HB's larger educational philosophy, which is we learn not for school, but for life. And that is going to be super important and help them in so many aspects outside of athletics. That's still something that I carry with me every single day. Promoting lifelong fitness habits, discipline, and mental resilience. And lastly, inclusivity, accessibility, and adaptability. So providing strength and conditioning opportunities for all HB athletes, not just varsity players, to ensure equitable access to performance and wellness resources, and to develop individualized training programs that enable each athlete to achieve personal performance goals and strengthen areas for improvement, incorporating appropriate modifications to team-based regimens when necessary. So if I speak with Kelly and maybe it is one of the athletes from the soccer team, let's say, has an injury going on at that moment, I would still have them come in with their team to build that team chemistry and continue with that. But I would make a specific training program for them that allows them to still be able to lift with their team, but just make those modifications that they need in that moment. So yeah, with all of that being said, I will pass it back to Ashley to go into more detail about what the athletic department has to offer.
Fantastic. Thanks, Taylor. Narrowing our focus more specifically to what we offer throughout the entire athletic department, I have to begin with our foundation, which is the Blazer Covenant. The Blazer Covenant serves as our guiding principle that helps us remain focused on our why, our how, and our what. The Blazer Covenant is made up of 5 tenets: teamwork, perseverance, character, excellence, and sportsmanship. And those 5 pillars are infused into everything that we do in this department. Take, for example, our mission statement, which says that our mission is to create an inclusive culture of excellence through athletics. We strive to empower young women to be champions in the classroom, in their sport, and in life, while developing sportsmanship, teamwork, high character, and perseverance. We take that philosophy very seriously in HB Athletics, and we're really proud that that is the foundation that we operate from. So what does this look like on a daily basis? As an administration, we strive to find the most qualified and dedicated professionals to impact our athletes as coaches, as trainers, as mentors. And on top of that, the level of collaboration that happens here at Hathaway Brown is really second to none. Like you saw previously, our athletic trainer is working with our strength and conditioning coach. Our sports information manager is working with our college counselors. Our PE team is working with our athletic administrative team. We're consistently finding ways to innovative ways to enhance and collaborate to provide a next level experience for our scholar athletes. Another distinctive of HB Athletics is that we do have a full-time sports information manager, which I mentioned previously. And her sole focus is on the department's communication and publicity and athlete celebration and acknowledgement. So the addition of this role has helped us to ensure that our athletes are seen, are heard, are celebrated. We also pride ourselves in being a department that considers the feedback of our stakeholders very seriously. In last year's athletic surveys, our graduating seniors overwhelmingly reported that their athletic experiences here at HB were defining portions of their overall educational journey. So we also had the privilege last year of celebrating 3 of our senior athletes who signed to compete in their respective sports at D1 Ivy League schools. So regardless of kind of your motivation or your goals, we have the resources to support you here at HB, and we're really excited to be trending towards nearly 10 athletes signing to compete at the next level next school year. So all of this to say, our Blazers are so incredibly supported for whatever the future holds for them. So now narrowing our focus a little bit more and talking about the specifics of our department. We offer 15 upper school sports. Some of those vary in their distinction between varsity level sports and club sports. But regardless of your interest, the opportunity to find your place in HB athletics is wide and vast. We offer 10 of these sports at the middle school level, and we begin building our athletic pipeline with our youngest of Blazers by offering both clinics and instructional teams and sessions at our primary school level as well. So we are fortunate, facility-wise, to have 2 beautiful full turf fields, actually 2.5, in our Wolf and Scarabelli fields. We also have a beautiful tennis facility that boasts 6 courts. The Butler Aquatic Center affords student athletes the ability to both swim and dive in a state-of-the-art facility. Our gymnasium is designed for optimum participation, allowing for 3 full courts to be used in the fall during volleyball season and 2 full basketball courts to operate simultaneously during the winter season. And these are just a few of our amazing facilities that are just steps away from our academic areas. So our students don't have to go far to engage in their after-school athletics. And that is just a really true resource that we are very proud of here at HB. Also, being able to access our coaches, our facilities, strength and conditioning programming, and athletic trainer both in and out of season does set HB apart. We want our scholar athletes to be able to hone their crafts year round through very intentional programs and programming, as Coach Skersey mentioned earlier. Last but not least, our coaches, and I'm saying this from a completely biased perspective, but our coaching staff is next level. You would be hard pressed to find a group of dedicated individuals who have this level of care for our student athletes. It's tangible here. Our coaches are not only showing up for their specific sport, but you will find our athletic coaches in the front row at our theater. At our theater presentations. They are at our orchestra concerts. We are a community that believes in supporting our students in all of their endeavors. And that extends well beyond athletics, but definitely is a heart and a commitment within athletics. We are so proud of our offerings here and the way that we are really able to support our students from a holistic perspective. As our athletic trainer and strength and conditioning trainer both mentioned earlier, we really do value the whole of the student. And I think that is something that sets HB apart. You're not just getting an athletic department who wants you to solely thrive in athletics. You are getting a group of individuals who want to see you thrive in all areas of life and are ready to help you and support you in all of those areas. And so that is the end of our slideshow, but we are happy to answer any other questions that you may have about HB Athletics.
Great. Thank you so much for being here. We are now going to welcome some student athletes. So any attendees, feel free to pop questions into the chat. But we are going to welcome 3 upper school athletes and then 2 of our middle school athletes. So how about we start with this? Oma, we'll kick it off with you and we'll go across and then we'll go over to the middle school athletes. Just tell us your name and then what sports you participate in at Hathaway Brown or outside of the HB community.
Okay, hi everyone. My name is Oma Agua. I'm a swimmer on the varsity team here at Hathaway Brown, but I've also done track and field in the past for HB as well. And then I did some lacrosse in the middle school, but swimming is definitely my primary sport that I do.
Hi, my name is Mallory McRail. I go by Mal. And right now I am in diving season and I also do track and field. I am a thrower. But previously, my freshman and sophomore year, I played soccer, and in the middle school, I did swimming and field hockey, yes. And outside of HB, I also participate in curling at Mayfield Curling Club.
My name is Peyton Banks. I participate in flag football during the spring, and before that, in my freshman year, I played volleyball, and then also in middle school, I played volleyball.
Hi, I'm Addie Bain, and I did volleyball in the fall season, and I'm gonna do lacrosse in the spring season.
Hi, my name is Veronica Tapias. I played tennis in the fall, and I did that last year. And outside of HB, I also figure skate.
Awesome. And Addie, do you also do something outside of HB?
Yeah, I do hockey and soccer outside of HB.
Awesome. Great. Thank you, ladies, for sharing that. So the first question we have is, how have you seen mentorship in athletics at HB? And not everyone needs to answer every question. So that mentorship could be coaches. It could also be peer mentorship, some of your HB sisters. Can anyone think of a moment or a time when you felt that mentorship within the HB athletic community?
Well, I definitely see it a lot with the athletic administration because I tend to spend a lot of my time in their offices. They always have open doors and they're always willing to listen. So I definitely come to them with any issues I have, and also just they're there to be a person to talk to.
Yeah, I think for me, I've seen a lot of my mentorship, especially with the older girls on the team when I was younger. I think that that was always a big thing for me. For the swim team especially, they've pumped out a lot of really good swimmers that are now really successful in their collegiate careers. So think that seeing them work hard and come to practice every day with a smile and, just show me the ropes of the team has made me into the leader I am today as a senior on the team.
Yeah, I think that especially like with flag football being a new sport just last year, kind of like all that support and like kind of like all these new things is coming at everybody on the team. It was a lot of support, a lot of advice, and a lot of just kind of how you apply yourself to this, how you can do this better, and I really like that.
What about Addie and Veronica? Any mentorship that
Yeah.
you've been a part of?
I definitely think that middle school is like the time to like try to figure out like what is your sport. So there are beginners in like tennis and they're learning, and some of them have gotten really good, and that shows mentorship.
Awesome.
And I remember I was a new student in fifth grade, and when I joined the developmental field hockey team in the fall, I remember everyone was so welcoming, and it was just it really helped me with like friendships in fifth grade, and that was a really fun time for me.
Fantastic. All right. So our next question is, what is your favorite part of being an athlete at an all-girls school? And some of you maybe were in a co-ed setting previously and played sports in that setting, and some of you maybe have been here for a longer amount of time. But what is it like to be sort of an athlete here at an all-girls? Your favorite part of that?
Yeah, for me, like I used to attend the co-ed school, but sports were not available till you were in seventh and eighth grade. But I do remember hearing a lot of time like come to the games, and I never really knew we even had like female like sports at my school because they were like the support for them was not as like major. And I feel like being at all girls school, it kind of like it sets your sport that like your gender sport or whatever is not a more it's kind of more known and it's a lot of support from like the whole school because they're like, oh yeah, the girls diving team, oh yeah, the girls cross country team, like your sport is known.
Yeah, to piggyback off of what you just said, I just think it's so empowering to be surrounded by so many women and girls who are so passionate about athletics. And I think just like you said, I also went to a co-ed school and I would just always hear, she threw that like a girl, like if you drop something in a big game, I just remember like all the boys freaking out. And there's always kind of that like stigma and that divide, but it's so nice to be in an environment where everyone is working towards the same goal and you're all uplifting each other. So, yeah.
And the community that we build between our not only our sports, but just within our sports is a lot better than when I was in middle school at a co-ed school. And I always felt very separated, especially in soccer and track, the two I played at my school. I always felt very separated from the boys on my team, but now that we're in an all-girls community, we all are sharing similar problems, and we're also sharing our wins, and we're able to celebrate together, and it really, really helps us connect.
Anything from Veronica and Addie? Again, we don't all have to answer all the questions if you don't have anything.
Like I went to a co-ed school, but it wasn't really like sports centered, so we didn't really talk about that because and we didn't play sports till seventh and eighth. So
Anything from you, Addie?
I played on the football team in fourth grade. And it was just like it was a different vibe. I felt more pressured by the boys to like catch the ball or like I felt scared if I would make a mistake. But now like in a girls' team, I feel more free, I guess.
That's great. What about a lesson you have learned by participating in your sport here at HB? Something that has really you took beyond the pool or beyond the diving board or beyond the field?
One thing I learned is not to be too hard on myself and to let myself like learn the sport, and I don't have to be perfect on the first day, especially if it's a new sport.
yeah, I totally agree with Addie because there's always the next shot, the next point, like that one miss won't define like how you are as a player, and it also helps like as you're a student, like your grades don't define you. So I do think that athletics does a good job in teaching that.
Great. Anything from the upper schoolers?
I definitely have taken away that nobody else is going to do the work for you. You have to put in all of your own effort. And I've genuinely taken that to every aspect of my life with the musical. I have to learn my lines. I have to learn my staging in school. I have to do my homework. I'm responsible for my test grades. So all of the outcomes that I want to see, I have to make happen.
Yeah, I completely agree with Mal. And especially with a sport like swimming, I think it teaches you a lot of discipline. The practice schedule is really rigorous. You're giving up a lot of breaks, maybe sometimes to hang out with friends. You've got to prioritize practice or that meet or whatever it is. But there's so much fun in that. And that's where the real bonding takes place when you have to make sacrifices together. I think that that's when the team really starts to come together. And I think that's so exciting to be able to make those sacrifices with other girls around your age and see just a beautiful friendship and sisterhood blossom by the end of the season.
Yeah, and I also feel like that you can honestly learn that like natural talent isn't all of it. Like even if something comes really easy to you, there's always like a way to get better. Like all the major singers today did not just wake up like with a great singer voice and just like become how big they are. They put in the work, they put in the effort, and even if something feels like, oh, this is easy now, how can I make this more challenging for myself?
Wow, some amazing wisdom coming from you girls. So the next question, you kind of hit on this a little bit, but how has being a part of a sport impacted your academics? So how does that student athlete thing work for you?
So I do think that if you are an athlete, you also have to like also be able to have good time management, like do your homework when you can, don't like wait and like make sure to plan it out, don't procrastinate, because that can really affect your grades and your academic.
Yeah, I agree at 100% with Veronica.
Yeah, along with the time management, I've never had a day of school where I didn't either have practice or rehearsal after. So I've learned how to schedule my days and plan my homework around all of my practices and what that looks like for tests coming up. So it's definitely taught me how to plan out my time. And I definitely think it's going to benefit me in college, especially when that comes to having so much downtime, but also not knowing what comes next.
Great. So this one I think might be fun to hear from you. The next question is, what has been a highlight of your time as an HB athlete? So it could be a small moment, it could be a big moment. What has been a highlight for you as a HB student athlete?
I think for me, my freshman year, I joined the HB swim team. We had just come off a bunch of second row finishes at states. I think that we were like on a 6 year streak. So I think that winning the state championship my freshman year and seeing all those seniors just finally have their moment of victory was so amazing. And then being able to obviously continue that legacy the past couple of years. I mean, there's not a better feeling than putting in all of that work for over 4 months and just pushing your body as far as it can go, and then finally being able to sit back and be like, wow, we really did that. That's an incredible feeling. So, yeah.
Great.
Last year, one of my friends on our track team, Jada, she finally hit a PR, and we'd been practicing together for 3 years. We've been on the team, and she finally got up to where she was her sophomore year, and just seeing how happy she was when she hit that PR, I celebrated with her, and it just made me so happy to see all of my teammates succeeding after all the hard work we've put in.
Yeah, on my first game, not my first game, but our team's first game playing flag, it was raining outside. And if you're trying to catch a football with wet gloves, it is not great. And so honestly, like practicing with those gloves and just kind of feeling like like I can't catch a football without it, it was like kind of scary going into that game. Like, how am I going to perform today? I don't know. I've never played in the rain. And then going into that and like we kept scoring, kept scoring, kept scoring. Like the rain did not stop us. We had some great plays. We were able to analyze the field. Like nothing felt more proud coming out of the game, winning by so much in an environment that felt totally new and uncomfortable.
So great. What about Veronica and Addie? Highlights of you have had 2 official years as HB Blazers in Blazer uniforms, so it could go to developmental sports too if you have some highlights from then.
I this was from the fall season. We won. It was the middle of the season, and we were playing this team for the second time, and we won the first set, and we were all really excited because usually it's whoever wins the first set has the higher chance of winning the second one. And we were really excited, and then we won the second set, and it was like everyone was hugging each other, and we weren't saying like, oh, all because of this person is why we won. Like everyone played their part and to make us win.
I
That's
do
great.
think that like a highlight is like when we were in seventh grade, we were obviously like the newer players, and we'd been losing like a couple of matches, but then when we finally won, we were all cheering and like so happy to win like against another school.
And I think it sounds like that redemption seems like a theme over there for some of you girls. That's great. All right, so I know that we want to be conscientious of time. And we'll take, if there's any other questions from the audience, one more that we do have is what advice would you give a future Blazer athlete? Because we'll be sharing this, and individuals who are joining us have our prospective families or prospective students. So what advice would you give a future Blazer athlete?
I'd say try everything. If you're interested in just the littlest bit, try the sport, try the group, try the club. There's genuinely so many things you can learn just from trying new things and going out of your comfort zone. And I definitely know this firsthand because I used to do 4 sports, I now do 3, and I've pretty much done everything imaginable in my time. So trying new things will help you go further, but also you might find something you're super passionate about and might even want to pursue in your future.
And I know this might be different maybe for some other sports that are more not necessarily team based, because I think that swimming is still very much a collaborative sport. But I would say every day I go into practice and it's almost a competition against myself. And I think that that's really important because everyone's progress is different. Everyone's starting at different spots. Some people might have been doing the sport their whole life. Some people are just starting. But every day, if you go into practice and try and be a little bit better than you were the day before, and you're really just trying to beat yourself every day, I think that that's what makes athletics so fun, is seeing your own progress and not trying to, compare yourself with others too much.
I would say don't be too hard on yourself. And that's the thing with like trying new sports, like try it and don't be too hard on yourself because it's a new sport and each person has different experiences with different sports. So don't compare yourself to other people.
I would also say, like, don't be afraid of hard work. Like, there's gonna be days you're gonna be tired. You're like, oh, I really can't go to practice today. But if you still go to practice, you make it through practice and you did something. Like, you accomplished something that day, something you thought was too hard. Like, never be scared to do hard things.
And like piggybacking off of that, like after you complete, let's say the workout, the game, the match, like after you finish it feels so good to like say, oh, I was tired, but I still did it.
That's fantastic. All right, well, we are going to send you on your way. Thank you for your time, ladies. We really appreciate it. Anything to add, Coach Kelly?
Thank you.
Yeah, I just want to say I am so incredibly proud of the student panel that we put together today. You ladies are just such an amazing representation of not just HB athletics, but HB in general. I think these girls just demonstrated what it is to be unapologetically themselves. And I'm like, my cheeks hurt from smiling so hard because the wisdom and just the potential and the passion, I'm just really proud of these student athletes. And this is just a small reflection of the sisterhood and all the wonderful things happening at HB. So thank you, ladies, for your time, and you are amazing.
Yes,
you.
thank you.
Thank you.